Right, have we got any further questions? Councillor Crowther.
Yeah, question for you, Marty. I'm just wanting to get clarity around the relationship between Thames-Coromandel Council and Tauranga City Council. So on the 7th of July, our staff said in a public meeting, we were first contacted in late April by Thames-Coromandel District Council. Thames-Coromandel contacted us about having a conversation about potentially going together in a waters organisation after the draft consultation had been adopted, after it had been out for consultation, and after I think it had, even after the submissions had closed. And then also said, I'm going to repeat, when the consultation document was adopted by you, when it went out for consultation, that at that point there were no conversations happening with Thames-Coromandel District Council, so we couldn't consult on it because it wasn't happening. And also said we didn't actually have anything from TCDC until then, and then being the 29th of April. But we have, as you know, now got this letter from the Mayor and councillors of Thames-Coromandel District Council, which says over the last 6 months, TCDC has spent considerable time on the TCC Western Bay of Plenty District Council partnership approach. This included weekly team meetings with all parties and progressing financial and project management work streams to support the Water Services Delivery Plan development. In addition, we have held elected member meetings with all parties. So I just really want to be very clear as we go into considering that relationship between that council, whether there's been a distortion at the Thames-Coromandel District Council end and whether they have been, if you like, exaggerating, spreading rumours in their letters, or whether we have some explanation for the disparity in those statements.
Thank you, Councillor, and I think Christine has the chronology there in front of her, but my recollection is that I first received a phone call, it may well have been late December or early January from the Chief Executive, at which stage I connected the teams up, and I think there was a joint meeting in January, late January, between us, Western Bay and Whakatane, but Christine will be able to confirm. And from that point on, there was a series of meetings with staff, I think including Martin Jenkins, but Christine will be able to give you the detail of that.
Yes, and I understand TCDC councillors have asked us some questions. So as Marty has outlined, there was an engagement with TCDC in January it was. So we then had set a little group up of TCC, Western Bay, Thames-Coromandel and Whakatane. That ran from January to May, and the purpose of that was multiple. So we were working on financial analysis of options, and that work was being undertaken by Martin Jenkins. That was reported to TCC elected members in early March, so you knew that we were working with them on a range of options. We were sharing learnings in terms of, and challenges in terms of the legislative, the bill, the Act, trying to get some economies of scale on learnings, really. We were trying to get some alignment in consultation documents so that if subsequently there was a decision to move together, there would be an easier pathway. We were all trying to understand how would a multi-council CCO work, what were the practicalities, and so by having the different councils around the table, we could do that, and we were all updating each other as to how we were going. But they were informal, they were scenario testing and exploring what a multi-council would be, and they were off the back of the resolutions that this council passed in December, which was we're open to working with all councils where it's mutually beneficial. So we opened the doors to those councils, but there were also, through the Bay of Plenty Regional Council approach, we were looking at modelling with them as well. So that was the sequence there. We shared with them the principles work that we were doing. So in December, our council passed resolutions about developing principles, and so again, in the spirit of partnership, we shared those. That was round about Mayish, and at the end of mid-May, we started working on a commitment agreement. That was all triggered from the 29th of April email that went from the Chief Executive of Thames-Coromandel to Marty, basically saying that at that point her elected members had asked her to connect and wanted to have some more, to really start conversations, and wanted to have a session or the two councils meet together. Thames-Coromandel, through the period of January to May, was in conversations with other consortium options as well, and was open-minded all the way through until that end of April point, where they actually then said, our preference now is to move to TCC. And I don't know, Ian, if you want to add anything else, or if that's, in your view, a fair reflection of what happened.
Thank you. Through you, Your Honour, I'd probably just add one more thing. So in December of last year, the preferred option put forward and discussed with TCDC councillors was a go-alone option. And that was primarily because of the good financial position they found themselves in. And it wasn't until through the detailed analysis on really understanding the benefits of a multi-council CCO, as well as getting the feedback from our consultation, where 69% of our submitters said that affordability was a key consideration, that they then made the determination in late April, early May about going with a joint WSO, and specifically with Thames-Coromandel, TCC and Western Bay of Plenty.
Right, thank you very much. I think we'll move on now to and thank you, staff and DIA, for answering all those questions. And we've heard a lot, and obviously there's some key information that we need to consider.
Stinky.